The Love Life and Lose Weight podcast will teach you the art and science of changing your habits around food. If you know what to do, but can't figure out why you're just not doing it, this is the right podcast for you. I'm your host, Advanced Certified Weight and Life Coach, Heather Beardsley. I've helped hundreds of women just like you figure out how to think and eat like a normal eater, lose weight, and love life on the journey to goal weight and beyond. Welcome to episode 82. We're in summer, and I want to talk to you about summer protocols, which can be easy, celebratory, delicious, and also help you follow through. Welcome. I love summertime. My birthday is in July, so I think the season that your birthday is in, you tend to like, right? And there's so many wonderful summertime fresh foods out. I thought I would take this episode to really hopefully inspire you to see that making a protocol for the different phases of your summer, more on that in a minute, will really help you create a dynamic or a protocol that you can use to help guide you throughout the different phases of your summer. So let's talk about why your summer needs structure. A lot of times we think protocol and it's like, oh, it means that we're in jail with our actions. But actually, a protocol, when done intentionally and with forethought ahead of time, is the key to freedom when you're in the phase of the season that you're in. So remember, each season is about 12 weeks. And when you think about the summer ahead of you for your specific life, the first thing I want you to do is to think about how you want summer to feel. The feelings that you have, like maybe you're in a crunchy time of your life, maybe somebody's sick or in the hospital, right? Like your summer feelings are going to be specific to what you have going on in your life. It can't all be easy breezy every summer, right? But for me, it looks like it might be um, a good summer with relatively little in the way to kind of reach for those feelings that I really enjoy for the summer. Some of those for me are relaxed, expansive, and delicious because I love summer food so much. So for some of you, summers of late might feel a little chaotic. Maybe the kids are home from school and there's just constant dishes and a lot more cleaning and a lot more running the kids around, or, who knows what you have going on. So we want to take the practical implications of the next 12 weeks ahead of us. I want you to pull out your calendar, and it should be in your calendar the things that you have going on throughout these next 12 weeks. Some of you, I'm sure, have vacations already in the calendar. Maybe you have camp segments for the kids. Maybe it's like vacation time at work. And so you're going to be covering a lot of different vacation times with your coworkers. And so it could be maybe actually working a little bit more before you go on vacation. So I want you to make a quick list now of July, August, and at least the first 3 weeks of September. That's what encompasses what we have left of summer from the time this podcast is released. So a protocol is important because if you leave your summer unstructured, it can lead to overeating and burnout and being behind by September because you haven't made a plan to make the most of when things are relatively easy and or overcome obstacles when you have some challenges coming up for you. So it's like a protocol is like a flexible support plan. It's like a recipe. It gives you basic ingredients and instructions while still letting you apply it in the dynamics that change from day to day. So when you think about summer like a 12-week season, everything changes. You can pace yourself, you can build in recovery, and you can still have the freedom you want without losing your goals. I remember when my kids used to be home from school and, it was just constant interruptions from my day as opposed to when they were like in school from 8 a.m. until 2 or 3 p.m. I was always running them here or there. They had different camps. They had different, tennis lessons or golf lessons or whatever they were doing. And I remember trying to apply what I was doing when they were in regular school to what I expected of myself when they were in summer mode with their activities. And it was just a disaster for me. And of course, my stuff all got relegated to, the back burner because their stuff was the most important in my job as a mom at that time. And, maybe it's not kids with you, but maybe it's other things. Maybe you're taking care of your parents, or maybe you're going on vacation, or whatever it might be. So I want you to create your protocol by identifying the different phases of your summer. Okay. And it could be like school ending, like I said, and camp beginning. When are those? Um, When are vacations? What about really hot days and hot weekends, outdoor events, parties, birthdays? Like outline all of those when those are happening. Like, for example, I know that I have a week set aside with my designer to design the new planner for 2026 for the calendar year 2026. And so I know around the week leading up to that, the week that I work with her, and for 2 weeks after, my workload is going to double. So I'm definitely going to take those few weeks in August as like my time to really focus on my work. And I'm not going to be expecting, casual grilling and making recipes for myself, right? I'm going to do easy stuff to support myself during those other times. Okay. So there's usually like, your early summer stuff, 4th of July, things like that. Then you have your core summer, which is really hot, right? For most of us. And then you have the return and refocus phase of summer. I want you to be thinking about how you kind of wind down your summer. How do you want to do that? And how do you prepare for what's coming next in the fall and to start layering in fall habits in September? Okay. So let's create your summer protocol template. You can always pause the podcast and come back when you're ready to do your template because you'll need a pen and something to write with or your iPad. Hey, it's Heather. We're taking just a quick pause so I can tell you about something that can change the way that you reach your weight goals. The Follow Through Planner is a digital system I designed to help you create calm, focus, and steady progress toward your weight goals without the pressure to be perfect. Imagine opening your laptop and knowing exactly what matters most this week and today, feeling grounded in your goals, confident in your plan, and proud of how you're showing up for yourself. Imagine knowing in any particular day how many overeats you've had and how consistent you're being at stopping at your desired percentage full. That's what this planner helps you do. You'll get coaching based tools I designed to help you organize your time, follow through on what you care about, plan your meals, and build momentum for your weight goals that lasts. To learn more about the digital follow through planner and get your copy and even your discount code, head to hbeardsley.com/planner. That's HBEARDSLEY.com/planner. Okay, creating your summer protocol. You're going to have a few questions to answer that will help you hammer this out. So, what are your non negotiables? In each of the different phases that you identified are going to happen for you this particular summer. So, what are your non negotiables that happen no matter what's going on with the phases of your summer? Maybe for you, because our focus is on weight management, you say, I may not always be losing weight, especially when I'm on vacation, but I will not be gaining. So that's like your non negotiable. Figure out what yours is for you. That's question one. What are your non negotiables? Number two, what makes this phase of the summer? You might have two phases, you might have three, you might have four, you might have just one. But what makes this phase different from the either the other seasons or from the different phases that I have this summer? So what's different about them? Number three, what routines, meals, and anchors will help you to follow through on your goals? Now, this is where your protocol for summer is going to meet your goals that we went over for the summer season for your weight management. Okay. Your summer protocol has to do with your entire life as a whole. And this is at this point, we're going to weave in your weight goal for summer into your summer protocol. So I want you to look at your summer seasonal goals that you already did with me during, I believe it was episode 81. Okay. I want you to pull out that worksheet. You can pause the podcast if you need to do that. And look at your do goals that you already identified that are going to help you reach your weight goals, whether that's to lose fat, build muscle, whatever it might be. You want to weave those into your protocol. Okay, what helps you follow through and make progress on your goals? Let's say you have a section of your summer that's going to be about just maintaining because maybe you're going on a month-long vacation to the lake or something. Okay. And you've decided that your goal is to maintain. So you can change a little bit about how you eat to accommodate that for that particular phase. And then the other phases of your summer will be about weight loss. And hopefully the net of all of those phases will leave you close to what your goal is for the summer. It should all tend to work together. If that doesn't work with what you wrote on your summer goals, I want you shifting one or the other so that there's continuity between both your weight loss goal and your summer protocol for your life. Okay. Number 4, how will you support the feelings you want to feel this summer? So for me, my core desired emotions are freedom, ease, and celebration. Okay. How am I going to support myself to feel free even during that phase of August when I'm working hard with my designer on the new planner, for example? It's going to be important that I don't lose that sense of how I want to feel in the season I'm in just because I have a few weeks of working really hard. So maybe what I do is I plan to do some really relaxing things when my day is done because I tend to overwork. So for example, on a day, design day with my planner, I know I'm going to, spend at least 8 hours with her on a day that I don't coach. And what I can tend to do is keep working because I know there's a lot of work to do. But to keep that freedom, I might go and get advance tickets to see a fun summer movie at the theater at the end of that day. So it's a natural barrier to my tendency to overwork. And then I can feel the freedom of going to see a movie after my long day with my designer. You see that? How you can you're always kind of holding out for how can I have the best of both the practical considerations of what I need to do with my life and the feelings I want to feel. Okay. Number 5, the question is, what boundaries or limits will you set for yourself? And I just kind of touched on that. When I work with my designer, I will clear my schedule as much as possible to give her the full attention my full attention for that time, but I will have a cutoff with how long I work. Maybe for some of you, you typically stay maybe an hour after, quitting time at work. But maybe, for July, you say, nope, I'm going to leave. I'm going to take some personal time or some flex time, and I'm leaving an hour early. Or maybe you decide to go in an hour early so that you're home an hour earlier and you can take some of those longer walks with the dog, or, make a picnic lunch with your partner and go to the beach or go to the lake. Okay, something like that. Okay, I'll put these 5 questions in the show notes of the podcast in case you want them. Okay. So I'm going to give you some examples. So if you're a working parent, maybe what comes of these questions is that you've identified that you want to do morning work sprints. You want to do a weekly beach night that you will schedule on your calendar and the planner, and that you will take walks after lunch because you love the warm weather and getting the sunshine in the summer. Let's say that you are a stay-at-home parent. You're going to try to work in a 3-hour solo window for yourself in your day, somewhere in your day that you have 3 hours just by yourself. And, you'd have to work that out maybe with your partner or your family or a babysitter, somebody to help you do that. You also maybe want to have some daily outdoor time with the kids, and that you want to spend maybe your Sunday setting up some freezer meals so that your time in the evening is not taken up with the typical like meal prep craziness with the kids. And it kind of gives you a little bit of freedom from that. Okay. And the final example, let's say that you're a professional who's solo. Well, you could plan like a Friday adventure day for yourself if you have flex time with how you work. Maybe you do 4 10-hour days and you take your Fridays off. And we call that like maybe an adventure day. And maybe you do like a stay-at-home vacations and you go to museums, or you sign up with like tours of things local that you could do on Fridays. Maybe you'll batch your work earlier in the week so that you have all your stuff ready to go in your Monday through Thursday. And maybe Sunday through Wednesday night, you commit to an early bedtime because you have some of those longer days Monday through Thursday. Okay, so see how all of these things like in a protocol can really work together. And what it does is it gives your brain a structure to work with so that your brain has something specific for it to work on to serve you. So your protocol is your summer container, and it holds you up while you enjoy floating down the lazy river of summer. Okay. I want you to think about it like that. We're going to stop giving protocol like a bad name. We're going to make it like a beautiful lazy river where you can just like be on your raft, knowing like if I like go off course, I'm just going to bump into the side of the lazy river. I'm fine, right? That's what your protocol does for you. It helps you so that it contains you enough so that you feel safe. And it also lets you have the most wonderful experience of your season. Okay, so let's talk about seasonal recipes. Every At the beginning of every season, I really encourage my clients to go through and make a list of their favorite seasonal foods. So here's some for me. Strawberry shortcake. Strawberries are my favorite. I always like to have that for July 4th. And I like to make it myself from Bisquick, like my mom made, and fresh strawberries. Because every time I try to get it at a restaurant, it's like, it just doesn't taste right. The whipped cream isn't homemade. The biscuit is more like a cake. And sometimes like the strawberries are too sweet, or they have this like weird pink gel on them, which is gross. So homemade strawberry shortcake, I literally put it on my calendar of when I want to make it ahead of time. So then it's like a surprise and delight when I get to that Saturday of like July 4th weekend. It's like make strawberry shortcake. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to make that. Another favorite for me is Ina Garten's lemon grilled chicken with peppers. I mean, I make that probably at least every 10 days. And it keeps really well. It's good cold, it's good hot. It's like light summer food that doesn't make me feel too full. I love fresh sweet corn with that chili lime butter. You can find recipes for these. August is all about peaches for me. I love making peach cobbler from that Betty Crocker cookbook, the one with the red plaid cover that, all our moms had. When I make it from that cookbook in August with like perfectly like chef's kiss ripe peaches, I mean, it brings me back to 1978. And that is just everything, right? So anticipate some of these when some of these times when produce really comes in season. I think plums are in season in August too. Of course, you can't forget tomatoes. Like, who doesn't love a big fat heirloom tomato sliced? Don't keep tomatoes in the fridge. They're fruits, they need to be kept out. An heirloom tomato sandwich with salt and pepper and mayonnaise. Yummy, right? Okay, so make make a list of some of your favorite recipes, and then I want you to calendar them into your summer so that you could at least put them on your time and tasks weekly planner or even your meal planner page inside of your planner to remind you of some of these fresh ingredients to not forget about. Okay, next segment, we're going to talk about not just like food and to-dos, but being in nature, I think is appealing for a lot of us. Not everybody. Like, I get it. If this isn't you, that's totally fine. But for a lot of us, we want to be in the water, we want to be in nature. And so I want you to seed some of these ideas for yourself too in your time and tasks weekly planner inside of your follow through planner. Here's just a quick list. Reading outside with a blanket under a tree. What's better than that? Evening walks after dinner, gardening, barefoot, or just being barefoot in the summer grass. I mean, these are the small joys of life that I feel like so many of us don't take advantage of because we're so busy with the minutia of life. And this is why planning a protocol that takes into consideration some of these like sweet joys of life will really help you to remember and pause and stop. A beach picnic at sunset. I mean, come on, people. This is what romanticizing your life is all about. These little efforts that we can make to elevate the mundane and really be fully present with the people we love, having just simple pleasures of a sunset, the ocean, and a beach picnic. Even just floating in the pool or the lake with some music playing. So make a list of sensory, simple joys that involve nature or outside, and then make time for them. Okay. So just to recap, summer has phases. Each phase needs a protocol. Let your food, routines, and rituals support you in the season to have the experience that you want. Use the follow through planner to map out your 12 weeks and protocols. Use your time and tasks weekly planner. Use your weekly meal planners as well. And just put things on your calendar. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have the most wonderful summer and enjoy yourself. Get out there, romanticize your life, elevate the mundane, stay focused, and so long. Hey, if this episode resonated for you, then let's connect. Visit hbeardsley.com/subscribe. That's HBEARDSLEY.com/subscribe. and become a VIP subscriber. You'll learn how to work with me. You'll get 2 free gifts, access to exclusive VIP content, and get a discount on the digital follow-through planner.